street light. I just hope you know I need a little love to soften up. Soften it up. Toughen it up. Do it right. You gotta let me in. You gotta let me in. You have got to let me in.
VHS KvLT.
Crispy bacon. Crispy bacon.
Crispy salad.
Crispy salad. Crispy salad.
Crispy wiener.
Welcome to the cult. This is VHS KvLT. I'm Kyle.
I am crispy wiener.
Crispy wiener. No one wants a crispy wiener.
I don't think you know what people want. You know, this someone out there wants a crispy wiener.
You think there's like a style of hot dog where it's like crisp?
Yeah, like there's a really famous place that fries their hot dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they come out crispy though.
Yeah. Corn dogs are deep fried. Hot
That's
dogs.
true. But they have a batter on the outside. So
They're
it's
not
the
really
same.
crispy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The outside's a little crispy.
A little bit, just a little crisp bite and then soft.
My favorite thing about corn dogs is thinking about hot dog on a stick and the tall ass hats they used to wear in the 80s.
Those foolish teenagers looking like fools.
I also want some limited now.
Looking like fools for their minimum wage, $3 an hour.
In the 80s, yeah. I think
Yeah.
like $3.50.
Uh-huh. For sure. Have you heard Lady Gaga's new song? Watched the new video?
No.
You up to date on the Gaga news?
No, I haven't watched anything about Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. I have a hot take about Lady Gaga. You ready for it?
Yep, I'm ready for your Gaga hot take.
All right. So, undeniably, she's got a few classic jams, right? We can all say that. I think maybe she was pretty relevant to the cultural zeitgeist about 12, 15 years ago, when she was first popping off.
Was that really how long ago it was?
It was a while ago,
Jeez,
man.
well, I'm fucking old.
But nowadays, we have actual like queer artists who are doing the same thing but better. So,
Like Katy Perry.
no, Dorian Electra. Dorian Electra exists. Lady Gaga. I think Lady Gaga.
Taylor Swift.
Pretty irrelevant and useless. Her music video also is like
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
boring. The song itself is like a throwback to like 90s like club shit. And it's like not even
I thought you liked 90s club shit.
I do, but it's like so fake and plastic, and it's not even like a relevant twist or an interesting change. It just straight up, it honestly sounds like she took someone else's beat from the 90s. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just really boring to me, even as someone who really likes club music from the 90s and ballroom and shit like that. It's like, what is she doing? No hate on Gaga, though. She seems like an alright person. It's just like, come on. Dorian Electra's out here doing it for real. Don't need Lady Gaga anymore.
Oh, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to get Lady Gaga canceled?
No, I don't think
That's what you're trying to do. You're out here saying we don't need her anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
We've never needed Lady Gaga more than we need her right now.
What for?
I don't know.
For
These poker faces or something.
big money tours and shit? I don't think so. People cannot afford you anymore, Lady Gaga.
People can't afford any of these fucking tours anymore. Jesus.
I mean, yeah, when they're still small, you just go see them for like $15.
Yeah, I meant like people that, someone besides you have heard of.
Yeah. I don't know. Thanks to the internet, a lot of the music I listen to that's seemingly like underground and
Like to have like a
obscure,
following.
it's like, a lot of people know who they are.
You're right. But I don't know. It's not the same thing. Like they're not selling out arenas. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, nah. Mm-mm. I think Dorian Electra might be able to eventually. We'll see though. They might be a little bit too fringe for mainstream culture. I don't know.
They'll just tighten it up and sell it a little bit.
Well, the thing is, like, people are still struggling with referring to people as they instead of he or she. So that's going to be an obstacle to overcome. All of their songs are pushing like gender boundaries and shit like that. So a lot of people aren't super comfortable with that.
Yeah, but the people who listen to music really
Yeah, usually the music scene is like
younger.
younger, and also if you're like cool and punk rock and shit, you're not worried about any of that stuff like that. You're like happy to hear new voices and
I'm not. I only want
See
to hear
new
my own
things,
voice.
Nah, Dorian lecture rules. Yes, I guess that's my main point is Dorian lecture rules. We need to get them on the podcast and see what's up with them, how they're doing. They're like way more famous and cool than we are, but
They may be way more famous, but I refuse to accept anyone who's more cool than me.
yeah, hell yeah, you're right. Speaking of super expensive,
I always think of like it's a really bad like example, I guess, but I always think of like the Midnight in Paris and Ernest Hemingway via Woody Allen. Who's like, if you're a writer, declare yourself the best writer.
I mean, that's something Hemingway would say.
Right. It sounds like something Hemingway would say, but I don't think he's ever said that.
No, he probably just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go fight in World War II. Give me a Jeep.
I'll meet you in Paris."
Yeah. Speaking of what you mentioned, though, very large tours that are very expensive. Nick Cave will not be coming to Arizona, but he is playing a show in Los Angeles, one in San Francisco, and one in Seattle, which are like the closest options. That'll be in
Seattle is not the closest option.
Well, I haven't been to Seattle yet, so. But anyways, these are happening in October. Quite expensive, so now's the time to start donating to the Patreon. Because I have dreams too, god damn it.
It's saying Nick Cave in Los Angeles or Seattle.
Yeah, I want
Not San Francisco, though.
I want to see.
I've been
Nick
there
Cave.
before.
Yeah, San Francisco.
I've been to LA plenty of times too.
Yeah,
so maybe
yeah.
Seattle is the one.
Well, I haven't been to Seattle yet, and I know for a fact I do not like LA, and I don't really like the city in San Francisco. I like all the surrounding area, the Bay Area. Don't like the city. That's doo-doo city. Well, San Francisco is just like a temple to all the failed liberal policies. They got doo-doo everywhere, all the homeless people and the drug addicts that aren't getting care, and all the fucking tech firms moving in, taking over all the land, foreign investors buying up all the property. You know what I mean? It's just like, whoa, God, what a
Real
hell.
late stage capitalism.
Yeah, absolutely. San Francisco is like, this is fucking hell.
It's the Coruscant of the West.
Yeah, this is quite dystopian in the city now. It wasn't ever that cool though, really. I don't remember ever being excited to go to the city.
Yeah, I'm not me either, really.
It's just like, oh, you gotta...
We get to see the homeless people and their funny signs.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I ever go in the city was like an athletic competition or...
Well, the Warriors played in Oakland and so did the A's.
Yeah.
We never went to a Giants game. I
went to a Giants game with... not school, but like one of my teachers took us to a Giants game.
Oh, was it second grade, Mrs. Lamphere?
Yeah, she did. You went to a Giants game too, right?
It was an A's game I went to with her.
I went to a Giants game with someone. Maybe he was just a pedophile. No, I think he was one of my teachers. But yeah, I don't know. That's the only time I've been to a Giants game. I also don't really like baseball that much, so no problem. We'll have to go to the city to see the Warriors soon, though. Shit.
They're playing here in 2 days.
How much tickets? About $5.
I think it's like $30 for the nosebleeds.
For real? Still?
Yeah, fucking. I don't know.
The
Wants to see
Suns
this
and
goddamn Suns, but
and the Warriors suck this season.
Right.
So I thought a lot of people jumped off that bandwagon by now.
I have NBA on my list here. I don't remember why I put it. I think it's because I listened to Conan Needs a Friend with Charles Barkley.
Oh, Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
This is terrible.
It's terrible. He was clowning on Shaq. He's like, he don't use no icy hot. He never use a general. He ain't never eat a Papa John's pizza.
Doesn't Shaq own a bunch of Papa John's?
I think he does.
Yeah. He's the new CEO after Papa John.
I mean,
crazy.
it could be worse. I mean, did Papa John's, you ever finish that 40 pizzas in 30 days challenge or 50 pizzas in 30 days
Well, he
challenge?
actually recently admitted that it was an exaggeration. And he also didn't eat all the pizzas. He was throwing them away and stuff.
What a jerk.
He's a crazy person. He's always so sweaty.
Also, to follow up on something we talked about last week, I brushed up on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and by brushed up I mean I watched 2 highlight videos of their first fight and their second fight, and then like a clip reel of some of them. I got some observations.
All right.
First, Tyson Fury, and heavyweights aren't really all necessarily known for their technical ability, and these 2 guys aren't really technical fighters either. But
Tyson Fury actually has quite a bit of technical ability, I think.
he fucking boxes like a goddamn gypsy.
Well, yeah, it's an awkward style, but
It's the fucking goofiest carnival shit.
yeah, but if you watch like
I mean, it works for him, but it's not like a tech. It's not like.
Well, he came up with the specific technique in the second fight against Deontay Wilder, and maybe it was like his coach and his cornerman, and his team and stuff.
He fought a little different,
but he followed through with it. There's one specific part where he jabs with his left and realizes the distance isn't there, but he still like throws a right, like he doesn't really like throw a punch, but he fakes his right so that Deontay puts his hands up, and then that's when he's able to swing around and hit him like kind of the back of his head. But and I was like, you know what, that's good boxing. It looks sloppy as hell, but he like kind of knows what he's doing. He's just really sloppy because he grew up fucking bare knuckle boxing and shit. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying like neither of these guys are like Floyd Mayweather.
Oh no! And then
pen and paper.
Deontay Wilder's just got like he just like takes hits and then pops you with his right hand.
Yeah, and Deontay Wilder is fucking two different people from the top half and the bottom half. Like, I don't want to get in a boxing match with Deontay Wilder in my life, but tie our hands behind our back. I'll kick fight him right now.
Oh, yeah, he's got little wimpy legs. Yeah, that's a lot of boxers though. Like, if they were in MMA, everyone would just kick the shit out of their legs.
Like, does he want to go on walks with me and the dog? I'm up to 2 a day as I'm walking like 5 miles a day.
I mean, the thing is, he's got to be.
I know, like he's got to be doing cardio and shit. Why are his legs so fucking tiny?
That's just genetics. Sometimes you just don't have muscle in the same places.
Like, I'm convinced that he didn't get hit in the head hard. His legs just gave out.
His ear was bleeding, man. I think it ended up just being the inside of his ears lacerated, but even that will fuck with your balance. I don't know. It was a good fight. Talk mad shit about Tyson Fury. Everyone else just seems to think he's okay, but
he's a fucking racist.
It's just more of the mainstream sports in general, where it's like they'll forgive people of anything as long as they do a good job. Which, I mean,
that's kind of like society at large to a certain extent too. It's
just frustrating, but I mean, I don't know. He hasn't said crazy shit in a while. Maybe it was because he's crazy depressed. I don't know. I just know like the uptight like Catholic culture he comes from, and it makes you kind of a prick, stupid, angry person. Speaking of angry religious people,
we watched Chuck Norris movie.
We watched Lone Wolf McQuade from 1983. Chuck Norris starring vehicle.
Take your pick and take your chances. Lone Wolf McQuade or Redneck Raleigh. Both had a way of bending the law.
Welcome, my hacienda. Come on.
McQuade's the one with the badge. Lone Wolf McQuade. Coming soon from Orion Pictures.
I do have a review from Harlem Nights if you want to read it. I don't know. Like, Harlem Nights is a movie I actually kind of like, so I don't know if I want to...
It's a negative one?
No, it's a positive review.
Oh.
But, like, I don't... Like, the movie is not one I would consider, like, a 5-star greatest of all time movie. It's okay. And this person's review is more of, like, oh, it's great.
Okay. We'll get to that eventually, I suppose.
All right, well, let's Lone Wolf McQuade then.
Well, we got
a movie that makes you wonder, why didn't David Carradine get more work in the 80s?
David Carradine. I think I went through his filmography, and he was working pretty consistently his entire life. It was just
shit movies.
A lot of not good stuff, yeah.
But he's the best part of this movie.
David
Him
Carradine.
and Big Heck.
He's smoking all the time. I like when the karate showcase, they get the gloves off and his like assistant puts the cigarette into his mouth for him.
Yeah.
I was like, that's power you can't buy. That's fear. You know what that is?
That's power you got to kick into somebody.
To set the tone for this film, how about I read to you a little quote from it? You ready?
Okay.
So imagine a very beautiful woman's riding on a horse towards you, and your older ranger friend taps you on the shoulder and he says, "How'd you like to bite that in the butt, develop lockjaw, and be drugged to death?"
Dakota's pretty great too.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to use that line if I get the chance.
I don't know how.
It'll come up at a bar sometime or something. I'll just I just switch it from a question into a statement of
I'd
desire.
like to bite your ass.
I'd like to bite that butt, develop lockjaw, and be drugged to death. It's also kind of like that's my style almost. So I was like, oh, okay. Like
Dakota, I can see you in the handlebar mustache, shirt buttoned down to your navel, fancy filigree all over it.
That's like not even that far off from how I dress now. I just wear more black. No, I mean even like the style of like sexual desire. It's like, yeah, I want a woman who just fucking will kill me. You know what I mean? I remember playing Divinity Original Sin 2, that like CRPG.
Uh-huh.
I didn't ever finish it because it's one of those games where like you fucking 100 hours or some shit. But I check it out because I love Baldur's Gate, or I did when I was younger.
They're making a third one.
Yeah, the same people that made Divinity. But anyways, there's a character in it. It's like an elf that was a slave, and now she's just all about getting revenge and killing people. And like you flirt with her and shit, and obviously I did because that's badass.
She can kill me. I'm gonna flirt with her.
The one of the other characters is like, it's strange to see a man who just completely allows a woman to kill. It's romantic in a way, and I was like, hell yeah, it is.
I don't own her. I don't allow her to kill. She kills of her own volition.
That's right. She does all the killing, and I love it. I love to watch her kill. That's like, I'm looking for a wife, obviously. Constant struggle, find a wife.
That's what this podcast is really
Trying
about.
to I want like a professional wrestler wife.
Charlotte Flair.
Nah.
You don't want to marry the Flair family? Woo!
No, I don't. She seems like a jerk. Not just because like it'd just be so cool to be in the crowd and be like, "That's my wife. Look at her beat up that other woman. She's so powerful, so powerful." Yeah, but that's still a tough ass job. You know what I mean? That's badass. Now that NXT champion lady Rhea Ripley, she's babe. So.
I don't know. I haven't watched any of the NXT shit. So
I just follow her on Twitter, and she's Australian, buff as fuck, tall as fuck.
She's like a kangaroo. How tall is tall as fuck for a lady? 5'10"?
I think she's like 5'9", 5'10", so like as tall as your wife. Because if your wife's like 5'11",
I think she said she's 5'10", but I believe she's technically 5'11".
Yeah, she's pretty tall.
She shrinks herself.
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this one.
Calling you out, Courtney. Everyone knows you're tall. We looked with our eyeballs.
I'll say for Lone Wolf McQuade, the opening minute and a half of this movie made me think it was going to be a way better movie than it ended up being. It's a fun, exciting movie.
I actually kind of still really like this movie.
I know, I like it, but I got some problems. Like, you can kind of cut out the entire romantic subplot of this movie.
Yeah, but why would you want to? There's a part where they slow motion wrestle in the mud.
That's how you end up in the hospital and when sex sent me to the ER.
Why? Because mud?
Yeah, because there's shit in mud. You can't wrestle around having sex in mud and getting mud all in your mouth.
They weren't having sex, they were just being romantic.
You don't know how it went from there.
Oh, it did
that hose was highly suggestive.
It did cut away before we saw the resolution. This is the exact type of movie this podcast is about. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I'm with you there.
This is like fucking 80s action cheese extravaganza. It's fucking...
Some people just don't know what they're fucking doing in this
Wild
movie.
West. It's a spaghetti western with karate. You know what I mean? It's just fucking... This is what the 80s were all about to me.
It is a spaghetti western that ends with a karate fight.
Yeah, it's a fucking spaghetti western down in El Paso. And there's people out there living the rancher lifestyle, dressing all good, square dancing, having parties and shit, and then they stop to have a karate showcase. This is it, man. I could live that lifestyle. I love it.
This is fucking...
I've been getting into the...
East Texas in the 80s.
I've been getting into the yeehaw shit a little bit.
Because Orville Peck?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm kind of feeling it. Like, it's like, oh yeah, imagine... being a rodeo.
You should start reading Cowboy Mountain novels with me. You gotta read that Lonesome Dove.
No, I'm about like the grim, like loose morals, easy sex, dancing, doing drugs. You gotta read that Lonesome Dove. Rodeo lifestyle. Modern rodeo shit. Getting fucked up by bulls.
I don't get fucked up by a bull. That's someone else's job.
There's something hardcore about it.
Wearing helmets. Getting traumatic brain injuries.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm into it. I unfortunately have this weird like dichotomy on like masculinity where it's like two pillars of masculinity in me are like dangerous machismo, like rodeo and like gangster shit.
And strange emotions.
And then John Waters.
Yeah. We talked about it before. It's the Ernest Hemingway of view on masculinity almost.
I guess, yeah.
With, except you don't view women as objects.
Nah. Recently, just how masculinity is perceived and shit. We won't get too deep into it. For a second, I was like, maybe this episode we will just like talk about masculinity since the movie
Masculinity.
is
Hey,
like,
man, I'm talking masculinity over here.
yeah, I don't know why I had an accent when I said that because this movie is just like 80s machismo. But I just like, you know what? I feel like society in general is kind of having like a gender crisis recently, right? Because that's the thing is like,
People are having a hard time saying they and them, Kyle.
yeah, exactly. Well, the people that are most upset about that shit are the people that their identity is so tied to what the
rodeos
perceived like masculine gender is supposed to be, right? Those are people that are always the angriest about it, and it's like, oh, you're having a gender crisis, aren't you? Because you're like, oh no, what am I supposed to be? I don't know. It's interesting to me, like all the things that are going on with gender. I think like straight white men are just like fucking like, I don't know what to do.
I feel like I should be offended. I'm a straight white man.
Yeah,
I think
you're not boring though, right? You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's debatable.
There's so many straight white men where their entire identity is being a straight white man, which is like,
Yeah.
it couldn't be me. I cannot ever imagine like having it be like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck that. No, man, I'm trying to like be out here, go to the drag show, watch John Waters movies, do some drugs, party, have sex with whoever I want, dress how I want. Couldn't be me. Fucking
Couldn't be
bullshit.
me.
Couldn't be me.
Then who?
Fucking
Who took the cookie from the cookie?
That's the thing. Our culture is dominated by boring people, and that's why.
How dare you call Taylor Swift boring?
Well, she is, man. I'm
Oh, shit.
That's why
The T
VHS
squad
cult.
all
We
over.
need to go to war with this dominant culture. This fucking
Can't we go to the war with like
Meaningless.
someone that deserves it?
Taylor Swift.
I don't know that she necessarily deserves it. I mean, like she's not great, you know what I mean? But I don't want to go on my way to hate on Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but that one time she talked shit about Kanye. Not actually. She was
Man,
like,
I
Kanye
don't-
didn't ask me to put that.
I'm not
on the
going to
song.
offend Kanye West,
But
goddammit.
then Kim
She's a
Kardashian
goddamn
was like,
millionaire.
I recorded it. I got you, you snake.
But they're all snakes, goddammit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about anyone. I only care about
I root for Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Ricky T. Tavi. He kills snakes.
That's right, he's a mongoose.
All right, yeah, we won't get into any of my more of my weird musings. Just listen to Dorian Electra. That'll help you out. If there's any boring white boys listening, I hope not at this point. Because
That's
unfortunately,
all our entire audience is born white boys.
probably because that's the podcast audience. I think. But it's like, man, you thought this podcast was for you because we watched Blade Runner or some shit. It's not for you. I'm not trying to be your friend.
Because we didn't like the regular theoretical kind.
I'm not trying to be your friend, man.
I'll be your friend, but you got to change some things.
You got to be more interesting. That's my biggest problem with like conservatives and the alt-right and centrists and people of all stripes that are,
I don't know. I feel like generally people are more interesting than they give themselves credit for at face value. It's that people focus in on and make themselves about something that is inane and stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
your
guess that's
entire
true.
personality shouldn't be based on a TV show shouldn't be that important to you. A movie shouldn't be that important to you. Like, I don't know. You're being straight shouldn't be that important to you. I can kind of understand like highlighting like your bisexuality or
you're fighting for something
You're
at that
fighting
point.
for something, but
Yeah.
like straight people don't need to fight for shit. Come on, guys.
We need a straight pride parade because
Oh,
we
fuck.
got no pride in being
We
straight.
need a
anymore.
straight white pride parade.
Fucking, you mean a Nazi rally? You fucking dummies. I don't think that Lone Wolf McQuade would stand for that shit. I don't know. His morals seem to be all over the place.
I don't get him.
Let's check
he
it out.
seems okay.
Yeah. After helping the local police with some
Like
horse.
he's a okay relationship with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
It's really strange for an 80s movie.
A weird relationship. Well, like the almost even still a romantic, loving relationship.
Well, it's
I
honestly
guess
they
it's
got
just-
divorced because he's fucking obsessed and he's a crazy person. That's why.
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. Let's stay friends.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot
Because
in real life.
the mother, the wife is like, yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's just insane.
He's dirty all the time. I like how they highlight that early in the movie. Is like he's just dirty all the time. He's like a hobo, a murder hobo. After helping the local police with some horse thieves, they're actually the state police. IMDb, jeez.
Idiots.
A Texas Ranger aims at a drug lord with an arms trade as well. They're interested in the same woman, and they're both into martial arts. That's all you need to know, really. That's what's up. It's it's Chuck Norris and David Carradine. That's the important part. It's Walker Texas Ranger versus Kung Fu. The legend continues. What was his character's name in Kung Fu?
I can't remember. I was trying to think of it right now. Lopan?
No, that's from.
I know.
Oh, I remember.
Kane.
That's There's a episode of like one of the more recent Ninja Turtles cartoons where it's all just references to Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh shit!
Like it has Lopan in it, and it's even
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
the guy that plays Lopan
Yeah, I
who
can't
actually
remember
does the voice of it. And I thought it was pretty good. And the whole reason I was watching the cartoon is like to relate more with like one of my friends at the time, and it ended up being a good cartoon, whatever.
Jamie was watching that one for a while. So.
Yeah, and I was talking to her about that episode, and I was like, "Oh, it's so good."
She's like,
blah, blah.
"What's Big Trouble in Little
No,
China?"
she was like, "Man, that episode sucks. This is like racist as shit. Who's this Lopan racist caricature?" And I was like, "What?" So yeah, you know, interesting. To
How
point
dare
out.
you offend Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Friendship over. Then you stopped talking to her, but you kept watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, what happened is we stayed friends, and then she stopped talking to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think we know why, you fucking racist.
Yeah, I guess. I forgot what that had to do with anything, but
We're talking
whatever.
about David Carradine and his name was
Oh
Kane.
yeah.
Kane versus Walker. Also, this movie.
Oh, Kane,
This movie
that's
is
what it
100% why Walker Texas Ranger was a thing, right?
This is Walker Texas Ranger prequel. In fact, the producers of this movie sued CBS for copyright infringement.
Bada bing. Hey.
CBS was later issued a retroactive license by Orion Films.
Oh. Well, don't they? Isn't CBS own Orion now or some shit?
I don't know, but
Probably.
it sounds like they just paid him a bunch of money and like, could we please keep making Walker Texas Ranger, please?
Remember when Conan O'Brien had the Walker Texas Ranger lever?
Walker told me I have AIDS.
This picture is an homage and a tribute to Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit.
And
The music relies heavily on those Sergio Leone movies.
Well, check this out. Francesco de Masi score has been said to have been greatly inspired by and even borrowed greatly from Ennio Morricone's score from Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in the West, which, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. It's not overdubbed, though, unfortunately. That's like one of the characteristics that is often lampooned
Intense ADR.
about spaghetti westerns, but it's actually like one of the aspects of it that I really enjoy.
Well, it's because all the actors in those movies are acting in their native language, right?
Well, no, they would usually be speaking English. They just didn't use Italy at the time. They didn't use like live sound mixing at all. They were like it wasn't a technique that they used. So most movies were ADR'd. I'm guessing a lot of actors probably had really thick accents, and English was not a language that they really spoke. So it might have been really like phonetic, anyways.
60s.
Yeah. So, a lot of people probably would have had to be ADR'd anyways, but it was actually that was like standard technique for a lot of Italian films at the time. It was cheaper to just, but you know, Italian film is cool. They can't all be Fellini or Pasolini or Bertolucci. Trying to think of all the Italian directors. Make myself seem cool on the internet.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. I think that's all there is to life is like is how clever you are. That's it. That's how clever are you?
I thought it was gonna be like how angry you are on the internet.
That works too. It does seem like a lot of time it's just whoever's like the loudest and the angriest. It's like, I won that argument. And it's, I guess. This film was directed by one Mr. Steve Carver. He's a director.
Is he?
Yeah.
Huh.
He made a few bad action movies. And he directed another Chuck Norris movie that we're probably going to watch eventually.
Delta Force.
No, it's like
I don't know which movie. I don't know those guys that are
I
actors.
think Out to Kill, something like that.
They should have made a whole series of Lone Wolf McQuade movies.
They did. It's called Walker Texas Ranger.
No, David Carradine's on any of those.
Oh, but he
It actually might be. I
He
don't know
might
if
have
that
a
was
guest
a Terry
appearance.
Walker Texas.
I forgot to check. So our previous episode where we watched Pale Rider, we just talked mad shit about Clint Eastwood the whole time, and we could do the same for Chuck Norris, but I don't know. I figured maybe we'll save it for another time just because I like this movie so much. But
Yeah, Pale Rider was not a very good movie,
Yeah.
despite what IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes might have told me.
yeah, that's like, remember when Brie Larson was like, "There's too many white dudes reviewing movies."
Yeah, she might have been right.
She was right. I think she was right. At the time, I was like, man, I couldn't care less who's reviewing movies.
Me either,
Never
but
mind. Never mind. She's right. Well, just a few tidbits to give you like an idea of who this Chuck Norris man is. I'm sure you're all familiar with the memes and shit. That's all bullshit because he's actually a 5'8" little pussy.
No, he legitimately was like U.S. karate champion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My thing with Chuck Norris is growing up watching Chuck Norris movies, we'd watch them and stuff, but like even our dad like would make fun of it. You know what I mean?
I do remember that.
So like
How wooden he was and shit, and like, move weird.
Yeah,
Not as bad as Steven Seagal. He made fun of Steven Seagal way more.
Yeah, but Chuck Norris was like, what's the Bruce Lee movie he's in? Like
Enter the Dragon.
Like he's at the top of the stairs and he's like, and I just remember our dad being like, Bruce Lee would whoop that guy. So yeah, I never took Chuck Norris that seriously. So when he had a renaissance on the internet, all those memes for me were just like super tongue in cheek.
That's what I thought. People started taking him seriously.
Yeah,
though.
and it's like they're also like so played out now. If I hear fucking Chuck Norris memes, I'm like, man, you need to get up off this internet. If you fucking in the wrong neighborhood.
I'm hoping we get some memes posted when we post this fucking podcast.
No one listens to this shit.
That's true.
Yeah, so Chuck Norris, he campaigned for George Bush in the U.S. presidential election. Also, he campaigned for George W. Bush. So George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush. I just like to call him W. Everyone knows, right?
W.
It's W. Here's a quote from him. I've known John McCain for over 20 years. He's a man of integrity, but a lot of his social issues I didn't lean toward. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm conservative. Now that John has brought someone like Sarah Palin on the ticket, it makes me more confident that they could do a tremendous job in the White House.
John McCain, not socially conservative enough for Chuck Norris.
And he thinks Sarah Palin's a good choice for VP. That gives you a good idea of...
yeah, we don't really need to talk about Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris's political values and analysis, right? He thought Sarah Palin was a good idea. Fucking I love John McCain for his integrity, like that time he verbally assaulted his wife.
Shut up, you trollop.
I don't want to make up like some goddamn trollop. He also began writing a right-wing a column for the right-wing publication World Net Daily.
Ooh.
In his columns, he's expressed his beliefs that, among other things, evolution doesn't exist.
Well, he's right.
Those who are troubled should turn to Christ.
Yep.
And true patriots would not support a separation of church and state.
That's exactly what George Washington would say.
Oh, he also speaks...
It's not.
Yeah. Well, even if it was, that trumps everything.
I know, right?
King George said it. He also speaks on behalf of organizations pushing for mandatory prayer in public schools. So, he's a pretty cool guy. And remember, he's only 5'8".
Well, I'm okay with mandatory prayer as long as they're praying to the right God.
5'8" is the most...
The Norse God.
5'8" is the most cursed height, I think.
Isn't that average height?
5'9" is average height.
Oh, so he's just an inch below?
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's probably actually 5'7".
Yeah, that's 5'8" is movie height.
What's Tom Cruise listed as?
Like 5'8", even though, no. This is cool, though. Chuck Norris was the karate teacher for Steve McQueen.
Oh, hey.
McQueen actually encouraged Norris to pursue a career in movies and television.
God damn it, Steve McQueen, you're always fucking up.
Well, he made Lone Wolf McQuade, so it's fine. Allegedly, he told Chuck, if you can't do anything else, there's always acting. So that's an inspirational.
Thanks, Steve McQueen.
Also, Chuck Norris's name is actually Carlos.
Carlos?
Yep.
Carlos Norris?
Mm-hmm. I was trying to figure out why that was. Doesn't seem like there's any Spanish heritage. I guess
his mom just really likes Carlos.
Yeah, he's just from Texas, so it's probably like commonplace. He was the initial choice for the character of Red Foreman on that 70s show.
Oh, you fucking dumbasses.
Could you imagine that?
No.
Like, he doesn't have any...
He can't act. He's
wooden. He's a fucking void of charisma.
As soon as he opens his mouth in Lone Wolf McQuade, I'm like, this movie's over.
He has, like...
Don't talk.
No fucking charisma either. A lot of action stars, Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold
Clint Eastwood,
Schwarzenegger,
they have like a stage presence.
They get by just like on charisma alone, right? Because they're not good actors. Chuck Norris is not a good actor, and he's also just fucking no charisma. He's absolutely devoid of it. It's like
fucking Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah, he's like a fucking mannequin standing around. So he would have been ridiculous in that 70s show. Like, there's no way that would have worked. So he was still doing Walker, Texas Ranger, though, so he turned it down. Thank God.
Ugh.
That show, one season.
Yeah, that.
Canceled halfway through the season, definitely. But let's talk about David Carradine.
I want to talk about David Carradine.
How did David Carradine die?
Autoerotic asphyxiation, Kyle.
Yes, while he was in Bangkok, Thailand.
Bangkok.
That's cool though. That's not a bad way to go. I remember it was a big joke at the time. Everyone always jokes about it, but like,
Man,
if that's what he's into. He died doing
I
love.
guess it's fine, but at the same time, it's like not the way I want to go. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he wasn't done partying either. You know what I mean? It was definitely accidental.
Especially for David Carradine, 110%. I want to die in a karate fight.
Well,
That's still my dream now.
it's interesting you bring that up because when Chuck Norris was asked to comment on David Carradine's actual martial arts skills, Chuck Norris opined, David Carradine is every bit as good a martial artist as I am an actor. So essentially, David Carradine can't do karate.
Well, I don't think he was. He's also known for Kung Fu. The legend continues, not karate. The legend continues.
Well, I mean, he's not.
And legitimately, in this end of this movie, he's not doing karate.
Well,
or anything close to it.
I mean, he's not a martial artist at all.
He's an actor.
He's a dancer. This is cool though. He's the only actor who's appeared in films by Martin Scorsese, Ingmar Bergman, and Quentin Tarantino. That's pretty auspicious, right?
Yeah. He's an actor too that I don't know. I always like him every time I see him in anything.
Yeah,
He's got like a stage presence that Chuck Norris does not have.
Yeah, no, David Carradine's cool. I like David Carradine. It was written into his contract that he could not be defeated in hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, is that why he had to get blown up at the end?
Yeah, that's exactly why. But he let himself get defeated at the end of Kill Bill 2.
Yeah. I mean, he really got defeated in this too, in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, I mean, he gets beat up first, then he gets blown up. You can't win them all. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta
it's
do
just
to
like,
put food on the table.
The Fast and Furious shit, I heard like Vin Diesel and The Rock and Jason Statham have this like weird point system that they keep up with to make sure no one's ahead.
Oh, really?
In like the movies, like some weird masculine measuring system.
That's weird because like I think The Rock could just beat both of those guys up, right?
I would assume so. Jason Statham does know karate, but he's also half the size of The Rock.
That's the thing is eventually
size just trumps everything.
Yeah, eventually you get outsized and it's hard. So, and it's not like The Rock doesn't know how to
get kicked.
Yeah, or wrestle. You know what I mean? Just because he's a professional wrestler doesn't mean
he knows enough.
Yeah, he also played football and did amateur wrestling, right? So I think you'd probably be all right. Who knows, though? The only way to find out is someone put that money on the line.
Well, I mean, this is not a great example, but there's always that rumor that like Chris Jericho beat the shit out of Bill Goldberg in the backstage of WCW.
I mean, that's probably... Oh, that's for true. That one's for sure true. They also... Chris Jericho, like, out-wrestled, like, Brock Lesnar on the plane ride from hell and shit, yeah. I think. Or is it Kurt Hennig? One of them. Yeah, no, there's... Some professional wrestlers are, like, legitimately good wrestlers. They can fuck people up. I don't know if The Rock's one of them, but I mean, eventually.
I mean, he's good enough that he can probably beat somebody up half his size.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And eventually, like you said, size just kind of gets to the point where it doesn't matter anymore. This is that toxic masculinity machismo I was talking about.
Is it? I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about ladies too. If you get into a fight with a woman much bigger than you, I don't care how much karate you know.
Well, I just mean being concerned about who can beat who up.
Oh, I brought it up because the goddamn contract, you asshole.
Yeah, but I'm talking about myself personally, where it's like, yeah, I shouldn't care about that, but like it is interesting to me.
I guess that's true.
Yeah,
it's a rock paper scissors thing.
Yeah, that all goes back to like, oh, could Superman beat the Incredible Hulk? Or, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like fantasy matches.
Could Muhammad Ali beat Tyson Fury?
Oh, I don't know. The size difference again would make a big deal.
Isn't Muhammad Ali like 6'6"?
No, I think he was only like 6'4", 6'3".
I mean, he fought George Foreman. George Foreman's a fucking giant.
George Foreman's a beast. Oh. And he's got plenty of kids named George. Who do we got here for the co-stars, huh? Did you notice Robert Beltran, who we know from Night of the Comet?
Big Heck!
That's right. He's here. He's not queer, but you better get used to it. Because he's a state police officer that really wants to be partnered up with Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is like, I'm a lone wolf. But like halfway through the movie, he's like, good work, partner. That's it.
Also, like at the very beginning, he's like, hey, Dakota, my old partner that's retiring.
He's not really a lone wolf. He just smells bad. Yeah, his old partner, LQ Jones, not Sam Elliott. I call him Some Elliott. Love interest, Barbara Carrera. There's a scene where Chuck's dog gets killed, and she comes out, wearing like a dude button up for her pajamas. I don't think it qualifies as a nightgown, but if it did, it'd be up there.
I think we'll allow it.
We'll allow it. I don't know.
With an asterisk.
Still stiff competition between her and Yasmin Guy, which her name is just Jasmine, but I like saying Yasmin. That's just like that's just better. Spanish names are just better all the time. Spanish pronunciations. Yeah, no, but she's looking super fly.
Super.
I like when she shows up and is just like cleaning his house and shit, and he gets mad for some reason, which is weird. You think he'd just be like, "Oh, cool."
I legitimately do not understand her relationship with David Carradine in this movie.
I don't understand her relationship with Chuck Norris either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
I
make
don't know
sense.
why she's interested in either of these fools.
I don't know why she's interested in either one. I don't know why she's forced to be with David Carradine. I don't know why she's, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. She's cool. She's riding horses.
Saving the daughters from runaway horses.
Yeah, punching dudes at the bar. Probably the best actor in the movie. Her and Robert Beltran. Well, like David Carradine's good too. He's just
mean mugging.
They don't give him much to work with. Yeah, but no, she does a great job. I love her. And we also got Dana Kimmel, who plays Chuck's daughter, Sally. We'll see her again eventually because she is in one of the Friday the 13th films.
Sally, Daddy, we're
Eventually,
going horseback riding.
I have a plan where we're gonna get drunk and watch like the first 6 Friday the 13th films.
We should live stream it on Twitch.
But that'd be fun. And then you also have to do that thing where like you can't show it on Twitch, but you just sync it so that everyone starts the movie at the same time. It wouldn't be that hard. We'll figure it out.
You can figure it out. I'll figure it out. Someone will figure it out.
If you can believe it, this film was originally written for Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson?
Kind of works.
Yeah.
So Chris Christopherson, he doesn't know karate, but I can imagine him pretending to know karate for this movie. You know what I mean? He's got like that vibe about him anyways. Because like he just pretends to be a badass in Blade, so why not? I mean, he's just a grizzled like folk singer, like tough guy from the desert, right? He gets it out the mud. I could believe Chris Christopherson as Lone Wolf McQuade for sure. I don't know if I could see him being a cop though.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
Because Chris Christopherson is a little bit of an outlaw, if you ask me. Obviously, he's not really, because he's like...
It's an outlaw country?
Yeah, but he's got that vibe about him. According to producers, I mean, get ready for your socks to be blown off about this one.
Okay.
Had Bruce Lee been alive at the time, he would have been offered the part that eventually went to David Carradine.
Wow, just like Kung Fu.
Even further speculation. Had Lee taken the part, the producers would have billed the film as the rematch of the century.
But there's no way in hell Bruce Lee would have lost to Chuck Norris in this fucking movie.
I don't know if Bruce Lee would have been in this movie, to be honest.
No.
He'd be like, what? I'm not
At this point in his career, I have to imagine if like
he'd be, I'm going to be second billing to Chuck Norris as the villain in his dumb cowboy shit. I don't think so. I'm going to make the Crow.
Marvel just talked to me. We're going to make Shang-Chi.
Did you notice how many times they said Ranger in the film?
Like 200.
Yeah, one of the most popular movie-based drinking games is to take a drink each time the participants hear Ranger.
Dead.
I mean, you must be able to do it if people are out there participating. But drinking games are always like halfway through you give up.
Yeah, halfway through you stop paying attention because you're drunk.
Except for Edward 40 Hands, because that shit's taped to you.
That's not really a game. You're like forced into that. That's like a punishment. It's some sort of drinking torture.
If you get a group of people together and get everyone involved in it, it turns into a game, because then it's like, you gotta find out new ways to light your cigarettes and shit. It's tons of fun. How am I going pee? I got these 40s strapped to me. My friends will help. It's rumored that a fight broke out between Carradine and Norris during the filming of the final fight scene. Norris felt that Carradine was kicking him too hard and warned him not to do it again. When he did, Chuck Norris struck him. Carradine said in one of his books that he and Norris never touched each other during the filming of Lone Wolf McQuade, though. So that's not real.
I'm probably gonna believe Carradine on that one.
They didn't really fight. They didn't touch each other at all.
No homo.
They didn't even do sweaty hugs. Little, good job.
Pat and tickle.
Yeah, good job. Booty taps. They weren't hanging and banging. This must have been a boring set, to be honest. Two heroes weren't hanging and banging. There was no stunt doubles used for the final fight between McQuade and Wilkes. Chuck Norris and David Carradine insisted on doing the scene themselves, despite the protests of the producers. The director, though, was like, hell yeah, we're doing it.
Too bad no one in America can choreograph a fight sequence, huh?
Yeah. Ooh. So, yeah, the final fight's really bad.
It is like, it's a real disappointment because they're building it up the entire movie. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And then you're like, why are there so many fucking cuts? And why are we at this angle? And why are we so far away? And why are we this close now?
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing they did all the blocking before they decided that they weren't going to use stunt doubles. So a lot of the shots in there that are far shots, that's so that they could hide the doubles.
Fucking reblock.
But then they like stuck with the shots anyways. And then, yeah, it's just bad choreography in general because it's like, I mean, first off, like David Carradine can't really do it. And Chuck Norris is not. He was a karate champion or whatever, but he's like not fast. And a lot of times dudes that are like good at like actual martial arts, they're not as interesting to watch as the dudes that just come from like the more theatrical dancing background, like all the Hong Kong kung fu movies. Like that shit's more fun to watch in a movie, and they're basically just dancing, you know? Chuck Norris, he's not like rotated his hips once in his life, so he can't dance. It's not going to be interesting to watch.
It's not fair. He has to rotate his hips if he was karate champion because that's the only way you make a powerful kick.
Yeah, all right.
You know what I mean? He just has no fucking rhythm.
Yeah,
he's a cracker.
Yeah, I was just talking about his cracker status. He's never once, did a dance. He does not fuck good.
I think we know that.
Yeah. People in the final fight, too, everyone's just dying all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the... wow, fuck, what's the main actress's name in the...
Barbara
character. No, the character.
Oh, man, I don't know.
I can't remember either. Fuck it. But she's like, I'm dying now.
I honestly can't remember any of the characters' names except for McQuade and Hector.
We haven't talked about the Mexican gangster, the little person.
Oh shit, yeah. His name was Falcone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Falcone.
His first appearance is great
because he just kind of, you hear the
and he comes in the frame. Yeah, it was like, did they do that on purpose to be comedic?
Because it seemed like it.
Yeah, because it's like, and then he comes in the frame, and you're like, whoa. Yeah,
like another inclusion. Like, why is he in the movie? I don't fucking know.
I don't have a problem with it because it's like it shows that like there's like a network of things going on, and he gets basically Chuck Norris learns David Carradine's entire like plot and shit.
Yeah, exposition comes from him.
Yeah, but I mean,
I guess my problem is you either need the woman or you need the Mexican gangster. You don't need both. You know what I mean? Because you can get the backstory either way, and it just feels like you're adding too much shit.
They're not gonna.
And this movie's already kind of messy, so let's tighten it up.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's only like an hour and 45 or hour and 47 minutes, I think. But it feels like, not that it drags or anything. It's just like
it's like 15 minutes too long. There's
it
too much.
Seems like so much is going on.
You need to cut one action sequence, and one of these subplots has to be gone.
Well, there's the part where so they're at the fucking hoedown or whatever, and then it turns into the karate showcase, and then Chuck Norris and
let's go drinking.
The Levingers run off, and they go to get mezcal, and then
they get in a fight.
They get in a fight, and then they run off, and then it's Chuck and his daughter, Chuck's daughter and her boyfriend making out, and they get killed, or the boy gets killed, and the daughter gets injured, and then I don't know. There's just like a lot of shit going on. Now, all of it's like entertaining, so that's what I mean. It doesn't feel like it's dragging at all, but a lot of it's like completely irrelevant to what's going on. And then all the shit with when they captured the local like crime guy. That's he's a pimp, drug dealer,
or whatever. The fuck, yeah.
And like all like the gags and shit with him. That goes on for so long, where they're like torturing him and then playing poker with him,
right? And then David Carradine shows up.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit messy, but I don't know. It hits like all the right notes for me about like why I ever liked any of the shitty like 80s action movies. Right. It's like fucking shooting guns. He's
kicking people.
He's stopping horse wrestlers, and
I gotta say, like, there's one part of the movie where, like, right after like the karate contest, the showcase, where he's walking up to his car, he reaches in and grips his gun belt. Like the gun belt is just sitting in his car with the window down.
Well, I was thinking that scene too when he does it is like, is he gonna go back and shoot up the place? You know what I mean? Because it seems like he's grumpy and he's like, I'm gonna get my gun belt on. I'm gonna fuck these fools up. Because like after he gets in a fight with David Carradine's friends because they're beating up Hector. Also, they constantly call Hector a greaser. Is that?
Oh, I forgot. Like, what, were you a Soch? What's going on here?
I didn't. Is that like maybe an ethnic slur I'm not familiar with, or are they just trying to keep it like?
Yeah, they're trying to do the Stranger Things things. You don't belong here. You one of you.
You know
what I'm saying.
You know, they're bad. I won't say who they are, but you get it. Yeah, so that was a little weird.
It made me think of the Outsiders every time.
Yeah,
Where's Pony Boy?
Yeah, so I wasn't familiar with that one. So yeah, it just made me think of like actual greasers. Like, well, he's not driving 50s car. He doesn't even have a leather jacket on.
Where's Soda Pop?
His cigarettes aren't rolled up into his sleeve. What is this?
He doesn't have a switchblade comb.
What the fuck? His hair's not even got any grease in it. Yeah, so that was a weird one, but you know, sometimes you just write scripts and you just put bullshit in it. Which this movie's full of bullshit. But it's great though. I mean, fucking check it out. It doesn't have any nudity in it, which is like it's
a real disappointment. Yeah.
Well, when you watch like these 80s like sort of garbage movies, it's like, yeah, you lose a few points just for like not following along with the trends at the time. The romantic subplot is great. It's like completely unnecessary to the movie, like you said, and her relationship with David Carradine doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I just like really like the actress, so I'm glad she was in it doing her thing. She's got like whoever like did her wardrobe for the movie. A-okay, fucking good job.
She brought it herself.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, she's got some cool outfits on, some killer yeehaw shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm into this yeehaw shit now.
I've never seen you wear cowboy boots with tight blue jeans and.
Nah, you'll never catch me wearing cowboy boots. I don't think, or dungarees, But I have on occasion. I think I still have some. I do have like Western shirts that I like to wear sometimes. You know, the ones that have like
embroidery and shit.
Yeah. I think those are cool. But like those are inspired by like Nick 13 from like Tiger Army, like rockabilly shit. But I mean that's yeehaw shit too, right? Rockabilly is a little bit yeehaw.
Yeah, it's a little bit yeehaw, a little bit greaser.
That's right. I'm into that shit, man. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, it's a rich tapestry that makes up my aesthetic interests. That's
man,
like,
damn it, I'm gonna have to listen to Tiger Army.
Yeah, that's all. There's like, yeah, I like varying different aesthetics. Like I wish like the skinhead look didn't have such negative.
I don't like the
associations.
skinhead look. I don't understand your infatuation with it. Nah,
I always thought it was cool. Carmen boots, tight pants, bracers, white shirt, bomber jacket. Nice herringbone. Get fucking the English skinheads are like usually really cool fucking looking. They always got like stay pressed pants, pressed shirt, braces. Usually wearing long coats, boots. I don't know. There's like something about it. And then fucking the leather man, that is the fucking dopest look of all time. I wish I could roll around looking like that all the time. It's like, obviously, it's kink adjacent, or specifically kink. But, man, that's some tough shit. You imagine walking around looking like Demolition all the time?
I mean, perhaps something that says Leather Daddy?
Leather Daddy? Yeah. And that's what I have to say about Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yeah, I'd be a leather daddy.
I'd be a leather daddy. Man, future's looking bright though. You know what? I think things are starting to look up. I'm starting to feel like it's reaching the point in my life where I'm ready to have the best, most kinkiest kind of sex there is. You know what kind of sex that is?
Butt sex.
Love sex. Sex where you love your partner. I'm ready for it. Yeah, that's the kinkiest shit there is. Falling asleep in each other's arms. Woof. Good Lord. Spicy shit. I don't know. I forgot what we were watching next week.
Well, I don't know because you made the list.
Oh, it's all right. I'll figure it out and you read the review of Harlem Nights.
Oh, yeah. I forgot when I had that. Anyways. So this one comes from Mark. And,
our dad?
No, unfortunately. Like I said, Harlem Nights is a movie I like enough, so I feel bad reading a review, ironically. But here we are.
And, you know, it's part of life when you're trying to get those internet dollars.
This movie is one of my all-time favorites, and I think the critics and others who scorn this movie have no sense of taste. They must be the same critics and people who enjoyed the Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
I don't understand what's with everybody's... it seems like everybody wants to bring up like the weirdest fucking movies when they write these reviews to try to like dunk on other people.
Yeah, it's also like Blair Witch Project is not even like tangentially related.
It's like the Harlem
Nights.
Nights. Like maybe you said like
the same thing.
Miller's Crossing? Or The Godfather? Or maybe if you compared it to like an Eddie Murphy comedy movie? This is after Coming to America, right?
Yeah.
Maybe people enjoyed Coming to America.
Yeah, those losers that enjoyed a tight comedy.
Anyways, back to the review. The comedic lineup in this movie are legendary. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Eddie Murphy, and they do a great job of acting in this movie. Acting in capitals.
Acting!
Eddie Murphy doesn't do great. Red Fox and Richard Pryor are... Red Fox is pretty good. Richard Pryor is okay, I think.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy's not really that good, man.
The critics and others seem to be disappointed that these legendary stand-up comedians don't break character and go into stand-up routine in the middle of the movie. This is a situational comedy, and it is every bit as funny as some of Eddie Murphy's praised comedies like Beverly Hills Cop.
You said it was a sitcom?
If you are looking for a stand-up routine, this movie is probably not for you. If you enjoyed The Blair Witch Project, he did it again.
He brought it up again?
The worst movie I personally have ever seen.
What?
You probably wouldn't even understand this movie.
When did he write this review?
What?
When did he write this
I don't
review?
know.
Was it 1999 and Blair Witch Project just came out?
This is a review for the Blu-ray, so I assume it was recent. But if you're looking for a great situational comedy that includes hilarious interaction with the absolute greatest performance in black comedy, that's true. This movie is a must. Red Fox is as an old blind stick man with an attitude on a craps table. I'm in a gaming industry, and trust me, just that alone is hilarious.
I'll take your word for it, games industry guy.
I mean, he's right. This is some of the greatest performers in black comedy history.
Yeah, and I mean that is a good gag that he's doing stickman and craps and he can't see.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, you gotta really have insider knowledge. I can guarantee for you this joke is good because I job.
Because you don't have eyes.
Yeah, what? Thank you for confirming that the joke was good with your facts. Is that it?
That's it.
Why are you so hung up on Blair Witch?
I don't know.
Also, I said 99. I think Blair Witch came out in 96. So, sorry.
Yeah. No, it was like 96 or 97, right around there.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11 when it came out or something. I remember for a minute, this is like maybe one of my first realizations where I realized like older people or people in general like maybe didn't pay as enough attention as they needed to. And it was when I
thought it was real.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, like that was part of the marketing for like a second. But I remember like by the time I went and saw it,
This is fake.
it was like I already knew it wasn't a real movie. But then it kept on. Remember they had to bring the actors out,
Yeah, like the Academy Awards or some shit.
and it's like I was like, man, fucking. I didn't like intellectualize it to this point, but I should have been like, you know what, this is gonna be a problem in the future. Yeah.
So anyways, Donald Trump is president. And,
Yeah. It all ties into Blair Witch Project. Join me.
You know what? I'm actually with this guy now. Blair Witch Project is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Ruined everything. God damn it, Blair Witch.
You know, to be fair, it didn't cause any problem. It just revealed a problem.
Yeah. It was lying there on the surface. It's maybe a problem people were already aware of. It was just illuminating for me as like a 10-year-old where I was like, adults don't know what the fuck's going on a lot of the time, huh? Interesting. And I never respected authority again. Thank you, Blair Witch.
Oh, what are we watching next week?
Enter the Ninja.
Enter the Ninja.
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's dark and moist in there.
What if it's a sexy ninja?
I'll get clearance from my wife first.
Yeah, so we're returning to canon films. It's been a while since we watched a canon film.
We should watch whenever we get to the 100th episode, we should watch the sequel to Death Wish.
Death Wish
3. D.
Oh, we watched Death Wish 2, huh?
Yeah.
We never watched Death Wish 1. Man, we'll watch them eventually, maybe. This movie's just kind of, Well, whatever. Enter the Ninja next week. Go to VHS KvLT.com. I'm trying to go see Nick Cave. Follow us on Twitter. I'm trying to get a wife so we can have love sex. Yeah, you know, just have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Remember, who's got your back? It's VHS Cult. Just think, you know, close your eyes and seize it. Clench your fist and beat it. Light your torch and burn it. I am the beast you worship. That's right. It's me.